Hello, adventurers. Happy Sunday morning. I am joined by DM Evanson.
How you doing?
And I'm joined by my fellow Dark Alchemist, the Dead Professor.
Morning, everybody.
In the background, we have some creepy Cthulhu music playing because today we're talking Cthulhu by Torchlight, or Dungeon by Torchlight. So the new D&D Beyond came out. The new D&D Beyond book came out. The Dead Professor immediately bought it. And this is all Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu in the Dungeons and Dragons world. It has all the Mythos monsters. And for those not familiar with Cthulhu, it's supernatural cosmic horror created by H.P. Lovecraft and is now open license that anybody can use the Cthulhu world because it's H.P. Lovecraft. Although this is a Chaosium gaming system for Cthulhu and licensed from Dungeons and Dragons. So this is an officially licensed product that you can buy. We're going to start off with a little war story.
Hold on. This has some interesting dynamics also in that Mike Merles, who was one of the designers for 5e, left Wizards of the Coast and went to Chaosium. And when he was at Chaosium, he produced this book, and he actually called on some YouTube personalities to help him with some of the balancing on stuff, like Treant Monk, who has a bunch of podcasts on balance and min-maxing and things like that. He helped on some of the subclasses in this book, interestingly enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So it seems like a bunch of people have left Wizards of the Coast lately, and they're doing a revamping, especially after
he was one of the first to leave. He left before the last Exodus. He's been at Chaosium for a while, and I actually think he's moved on from Chaosium now.
Really? Okay. So reading the back of this book, it does say that it is licensed and trademarked in the sense of this book, where some of the other Dungeons and Dragons content you can use with the open license. I'm not sure about the license with this because Chaosium does actually produce the Cthulhu game system, right?
Yeah. So just interesting.
Okay, cool. No, that's an excellent point. I love it. Thanks you for that information, Professor. That's why you're the professor. You have all the actual intellectual knowledge, and I just kind of rant.
That's just gossip.
and then Dave, and then
you're just a face.
I'm just a
pretty face.
Pretty face.
So in a Call of Cthulhu role-playing campaign, we were back in London, England, and we had a house. The house was a mansion, and that professor, that was your character. He was a rich dilettante.
Yes, he was a English nobleman.
Yeah, the English nobleman had a butler and lots of supplies and a house. And we were doing the campaign where we travel across the world trying to stop the seals. I'll let you say the campaign, Professor, because you pronounce it better.
Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep. So Nyarlathotep is a giant cosmic god, and he's trying to be summoned back into the world. So Call of Cthulhu is very big on cultists, and these cultists were sending creatures after us. And one of these creatures was a hunting horror. And I want to tell you the hunting horror story in Cthulhu, and then we are going to look at the hunting horror Cthulhu by Torchlight stat block. So a hunting horror is a giant winged creature that serves Nyarlathotep's will. It was sent after us to kill us. So this giant hunting horror comes into the house and starts attacking us, and we were using modern weapons to shoot it. And it was beating us up pretty well. It's a scary, scary monster. And in the Call of Cthulhu system, I think my character had 12 hit points, and the hit points are very similar to Dungeons and Dragons. A knife could do D6 to D8. A gun can do D8 to D10. This thing could do like 3d6 damage. So you're like a permanent first level character in Call of Cthulhu.
Yep. Your skills get better, but your abilities never do. You never get more hit points or anything like that.
Yeah. So this creature comes in, he beats a bunch of us up, maybe takes some of us down, and the killing blow was by the butler with, I think, a 30-06 rifle or something like that, or an elephant gun.
Butler was a World War I veteran, and he served my character's family for years, and he was
That's great.
And I was down. I was unconscious at this point. I think Gil's character was down. He had been fighting it in hand to hand on the stairs, and he was down. And Butler opened up, and he happened to have a decent skill in rifle because he was a military veteran, and just put it down. It was funny.
That's great.
So, actually, I was going to do the hunting horror first. Let me just go through the Mythos tags. So, in the new book, Dungeons by Torchlight, all Call of Cthulhu monsters, Call of Cthulhu world, supernatural horror. Cultists want to summon supernatural entities to take over the world, and each supernatural entity has its kind of own view or twist on what it wants to do with the world. There's a great board game called Cthulhu Wars, where each of these supernatural gods fight on the tabletop, and you really get to see each aspect of the monster. So check that out. I think it's one of my favorite board games. I don't own it, but we are lucky enough to have a few people who do. So a creature with the Cthulhu Mythos tag has no normal extra rules attached to him, but it adds different elements to the creature. So the Mythos tag in the game, you can say an aboleth, an angel demon, a ghoul, a hag, an oni can have these different tags. So you can have an undead with the Mythos tag, and you can add some abilities to creatures with the Mythos tag.
Itself does add abilities.
The Mythos tag adds the what's it called?
Adds a big one.
I'm trying to find it. It adds the,
the
magic resistance, right?
Magic resistance, which is enormous. Right back to the where you are, Mythos tag.
Okay.
Right in the first paragraph.
Oh, here we go.
Immune to charm, frightened, poisoned, and has magic resistance. That means advantage on all savings throws.
Yeah, it's nice.
That is a huge advantage. That means undead, you try to turn it, advantage on its save.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for clearing up, Professor. That's exactly what I was trying to get out over my fumbling words.
No worries.
So, for example, ghouls in Call of Cthulhu merit special mention. They often appear in a number of mythos stories. Compared to world-destroying otherworldly creatures, the undead creature that skulks in a graveyard and feasts upon corpses is a relatively mild threat, although in the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, they are dangerous, again, because you don't have a ton of hit points. While they can serve cultists to fight PCs, ghouls tend to recall pieces of their mortal lives. They can serve as guides and sages, sharing lore they have accumulated at a price. But in Dungeons & Dragons, if you come across a mythos ghoul, like you said, it's going to have magic resistance. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the hunting horror. So we managed to fight the hunting horror, but in the Dungeons & Dragons world, it is considered an aberration. It's huge. And we'll take turns going through the stats. I'll read the kind of first stat block here. Armor class 17, initiative +3, 184 hit points on the average, a movement speed of 40, and a fly speed of 120. What do you think of that movement, Dungeon Master Evanson?
Love it.
You do love it, right?
Not a lot of things with a 120 flight speed, right? That I can think.
No, and I like things that move faster anyway. So 40 is great. Flies even better.
Well, a hunting horror is something that would be moving through space, flying around, doing the bidding of the god. So I guess that's why they gave it a high speed. Strength 23, Dex 16, Con 20, Intelligence 15, Wisdom 17, Charisma 12. It has skills Arcana, Investigation +6, Perception +7, Survival +11, immunity to poison, Frightened, Charmed, immunity to poison, and the poison condition. It has Blind Sight 90, Dark Vision 120, Passive Perception 17. It speaks Common plus 1d6 languages, which is funny to me because, again, I never picture hunting horrors being able to talk, but they can pass along the will of their god. It is light sensitivity, which is cool. I like that. Bright light has disadvantage on attack rolls and checks. And it has magic resistance. So we're at that. Professor, you want to talk about you want to go over the attacks for me there?
Yeah, I mean, the attack is pretty basic. Has multi-attack. It has one bite, one tail. It can replace either one of those with spell casting. The bite is 20-foot reach. That's pretty big. 2d10 +6 damage with a +10 to hit piercing. But the tail is the same thing. +10, 20-foot. That one is 2d8 +6 instead of 2d10. That's bludgeoning, but it does grapple. The escape is a DC 18, which is pretty high for a grapple DC.
Yeah. Nice.
But the fact that it has spell casting is interesting. It's got dispel magic at will, featherfall at will, and then once a day, arcane eye, dimension door, lightning bolt, and locate creature. So arcane eye and locate creature fit its and it's the creature in Call of Cthulhu is you summon it, you give it a target, and it's like fire and forget. Go kill that. Which is exactly what happened to our group in Call of Cthulhu. The wizard summoned it and said, "Go kill this group," and it showed up at our apartment.
And it's nice to see spells that actually are useful.
Yeah, and very in theme.
Yes, theme and useful, because too often in the core D&D monsters, they'll give him stupid things like at will. He could do, prestidigitation or something. It's just like, what are we doing here? Like,
and now, again, on that whole targeting a person, the bonus action, Praise Doom, is kind of like its version of Hex. It unravels a target's life force with a bite. Hunting Horror studies for one creature it can see within 30 feet, so for 1 minute on each of the Hunting Horror's turns. When it hits, that creature takes an extra 4d8 necrotic damage, and you can't heal until its next turn.
Oh, that's what I love.
So it turns its bite into 2d10 plus 6 into plus 4d8. So its base damage is 35 on its bite, and you can't heal.
Yeah, that's nice.
It does say the effect ends if the target is outside of range or if it has total cover from the hunting horror or a different plane of existence. So that's kind of cool. So the hunting horror is hunting you, but now you get bit, have this extra damage. If you can hide, I mean, it's the whole prey thing, right? You're the prey.
How do you hide from a creature with blind sight?
Oh, I don't know. How do you hide from a creature with blind sight?
Dark vision, blind sight.
You can't hide behind a wall. It can see you because, no, I guess it can't see behind a wall. That would be true sense. But yeah, so it's not as easy as it sounds. But also, it doesn't have to hit you again. It can just do 48 to you every round as a bonus action.
For 10 rounds or 9 more rounds, right?
Subsequent turns, it can just take a bonus action and hit you again as long as it's within 30 feet of you.
Oh my God, supernatural horror.
And blind sight you can see within a specific range without relying on physical sight.
Right, you just a wall.
As long as it isn't behind
Dave is going to like the legendary actions.
Even if it's blinded or in darkness.
Yeah.
And invisible. Yeah.
So invisibility, you can't turn invisible and just be good?
Nope.
Legendary actions. 2.
Yeah.
Immediately after another creature's turn. Hunting Horror may expend one of these legendary actions. What do we got here? Actually, got to pull up on mine. It's too small on the.
So we have gashing teeth. It makes a bite attack. Okay, nothing special, right? Okay.
3 bite attack, yeah, and then crushing horror. If it has you grappled, just to take 4d10 damage.
Yeah,
but I think Dave, the last one.
The Hunting Horror moves up to its speed.
Pursuit of prey.
Nice. Pursuit of prey. That's nice. A little extra movement. That's always good to see.
There's not many things that are going to be fast enough to run away from it.
No.
But if somehow you've got one of those crazy tabaxi builds in your group where they've got like 300 feet of movement in a round, no, it doesn't matter. 2 legendary actions in a turn, and it's going to catch you.
It is nice to see that they're like, okay, you're not running away from this creature, and they establish it through like things like that or its base movement, and then it's like, okay, move on. So like you kind of have to just be like, all right, we're not running away from this, so we have to deal with it.
So it would move 360 in a round, and still attack
if needed.
Still attack.
Great.
So this is just one example of a supernatural horror creature. Some of the little backgrounds, if anybody's read H.P. Lovecraft, the original Call of Cthulhu book, loves to put little snippets of lore in, or actually from the book. So August Derleth, the Lurker at the Threshold book, has a little snippet about the Hunting Horror. And in the air about him were great vibrant creatures which had curiously distorted heads, grotesquely great clawed appendages, supporting themselves with ease by the aid of black rubbery wings and a singular monstrous dimensions. So there's a little picture here of their interpretation of the hunting horror. We have a pretty cool miniature that we printed for it, and we have a couple other miniatures from Call of Cthulhu. I want to talk about one other one, the Dimensional Shambler. So now there are a bunch of Mythos creatures in here. They have Dagon, which is a god, deep ones, which are the aquatic creatures, elder things, flying polyps, the great race of Yith. They actually have Starspawn and Cthulhu itself. Starspawn like the lesser ones. But Dimensional Shamblers stand out to me because we have two of these printed, and I actually painted them up with some contrast paints, kind of a nice green color. And in the game, we have two silver type of daggers, which let us summon and control Dimensional Shamblers. So our character in the Cthulhu game can summon this and actually now use them against the cultists.
Right. But now in the Cthulhu game, everything comes at a price.
Yeah.
Because in order to summon it, you lose sanity.
Mm-hmm.
When you cast a spell in Cthulhu, it costs you sanity because you shouldn't be able to do that naturally. And then when you see the thing, you lose more sanity. So you have to summon it, take the sanity hit, see it, take the sanity hit, and hope you haven't gone insane in order to control it.
Exactly. And we'll go over a little bit their version of that in this game. So Dimensional Shamblers are enlisted by Mythos cult and cultists to use their teleportation abilities to retrieve lost artifacts or helpless victims. Usually the Shambler deposits its quarry and its allies, or carries them off to an unknown destination for unknown reasons. So Dimensional Shamblers are also large aberrations, so a little smaller than hunting horror. Armor class 15, initiative +6. Wow, +6 on initiative, that's pretty big. 153 hit points, 50 speed, strength 20, dex 17, con 17, intelligence of 8, a wisdom of 11, a charisma of 10, only +3 perception. Once again, they have the immunities to poison condition, charm frightened, dark vision 60, passive perception 13. They understand all languages, which is very interesting to me also, but can't speak. Some of their traits are dimensional attunement. A dimensional shambler gains 1 dimension point at the end of a turn during combat or when otherwise threatened. It begins the encounter with 0 and can have up to 4. So it's building up dimensional points, which the dungeon master can then spend. Dimensional warping is a DC 14 saving throw, wisdom. If a creature within 30 feet of a dimensional shambler attempts to teleport, failure, the creature does not teleport. Success, the creature teleports as normal. Teleport blocker.
Oh, screw you, Misty Step.
Okay, that Misty Step is considered a teleport, correct?
Dimension doors, Misty Step. Yep.
Yeah. So Professor, you think Misty Step is really the main thing, and that is a trait. That is an ongoing trait. That's not something he has to spend or use a bonus.
30 feet.
I like that.
No teleporting out, no Misty stepping out of his grapple. Well,
yeah.
All right.
At least
DC 14 is not incredibly hard.
No.
But a non-proficient character is going to have a 50-50 shot of the spell going off.
Yeah. And it's just another roll.
Yep.
You know.
And if you're Misty stepping, you probably want to leave. It's not a roll you want to fail, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Dimensional Shamblers have their standard magic resistance of the Mythos. Professor, can you read that okay? You want to walk us through the attacks?
Sure. So it's got up to 4 dimensional claw attacks and the use of its disdainful banishment. It can't attack the same creature more than twice with the claw when it uses multi-attack. So it's got 2 attacks against 2 different targets.
Okay.
Dimensional claw, +8, reach 10 foot, D10 +5 slashing. Medium or smaller creature, it gets grappled with a DC 16. It can grapple 2 creatures at the same time. So 2 attacks on one, 2 attacks on another. If it hits them, they're both grappled. Disdainful banishment, which you can use in the same turn as those 4 attacks. Wisdom DC 14, 1 creature grappled by the creature. And if you fail, you are teleported 30 feet to an unoccupied space they can see. So it can just kind of teleport you up in the air 30 feet, let you fall and take some more damage. It can teleport you into a fire, into anywhere it wants.
So if the fighters fighters smashing the dimensional shambler, multi-attack, this and that, real close. Dimensional shambler can teleport you 30 feet away. And Professor, you took it one step further. You're saying take this fighter, throw him into the forest, throw him into the lava,
Right.
throw him into the water.
There are very specific caveats on spells where you can teleport somebody now. Most of them specifically say must be on a solid surface. So most of the player spells, you can't teleport somebody up into the air.
To make like a weapon, to weaponize it.
To weaponize it. This doesn't say that. So he can teleport you up in the air and you drop and take another 3d6 damage. Or into something hazardous.
Yeah.
So, DM Evanson, let me ask you two questions. One, what do you think about the multi-grapple for him? It can grapple up to 2 creatures at a time. You seem to like the grapple as a dungeon master. Do you think that rule's being overused? Do you think it's a good rule? Do you think it makes it more fair for a dungeon master to kind of control players who are getting out of control or a large group?
I think there's a decent amount of things that can grapple, but there's way more that can get out of grapple. So seeing it is nice because it's just a little more CC on the battlefield, a little control over the players to try to, make it interesting. Multiple grapples is nice. That's not too many have that. So to see it at a CR8 level is nice. This guy's pretty terrifying with the teleporting and the anti-teleporting.
All right, so bonus actions. Now this is when it starts to use those dimensional attunement points.
Correct.
Now this kind of has a little bit of Daggerheart flavor in that in Daggerheart the DM builds up fear tokens, and that's what powers the monsters. So here he's building up dimensional attunement points. So for 3 points, he can use a legendary action. He can use an extra legendary action. Usually he only has 1 per turn. For 1 point, he can extra dimensionally send his claws through time and space to extend his reach to 30 feet and ignore cover. So you're behind a wall, he doesn't care. It comes out the other side and attacks you anyway. And then dimensional step, he can spend 3 points to teleport itself and all creatures it has grappled to a chosen destination it has visited in the last month. Goodbye.
Let's stop right there.
That's the creature's purpose.
Yes. So he's bringing it back to the cult.
Yep.
Right, and
or
then
whatever god he's working for, or.
So DM Evanson, I feel like the dimensional step, if you were to do that, it wouldn't be fair to characters. You don't want to instantly kill your characters or do TPK. They dimensionally step back to the cult, and now it becomes a rescue mission. The party split, and the action stops, the combat stops, and it's like the cult is like, "We have you in our grasps," and now you kind of role play that, right? Am I correct?
Maybe its target was the little kid in the tavern that the party watches get grabbed and teleported away with, and it's your adventure hook.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's not a different plane.
Sacrifice.
It's also not a different plane, so you could, there's many ways to track them back down.
No, absolutely, but it's
so I like that. Yeah, it's could be really terrifying, especially if in the middle of a fight one of the key party members disappears.
Yep.
Yeah. So also, so two other things with this come up. If the players take the study action and they pass, this is supernatural horror. Maybe it would be an Arcana check or what the Dungeon Master decides to do. If they do a high enough Arcana check, and the Dungeon Master says, "Okay, you know about this dimensional attunement. You know they're going to gain 1 dimension point around during combat, or if it's threatened. And when he gets to 3, he will be able to teleport somewhere." So now you're like, okay, we have 3 rounds to figure this out. On that 3rd round, when he gets that 3rd point, if he hasn't spent anything, if you're tracking it, you're going to have to say to yourself, if somebody gets grappled, we have to make sure that he can't teleport away. We have to ungrapple. It's almost like a little timer. And that's only if the players, know about this creature. Now, we happen to know about it because we're reading it, we're going over it, we're sharing information.
Right, so it's an aberration, so it's an Arcana check to know anything about it, right?
Yep, I believe so.
This, if I was running a game, this would have a really hard Arcana check because this is not an everyday monster.
Yeah, this looks like
this is something. This is something out of reality. so to speak.
Mhm.
It's either it's summoned here or created for this very special.
So the minute this supplement came out, and I was like, all right, I got to grab it because I know Rory is going to be super interested in it. And I bought it, and I was like, our whole swamp campaign has just changed. I know it. Whatever ideas he had gone out the window, and it's becoming Cthulhu. And he's like, and yesterday he's like, yeah, the whole end of the campaign has changed. I'm like, oh, I knew it.
I'll tell you what, this dimensional shambler might make it into ours.
So, DM Evanson, if it does, I do have 2 nicely dimensional shambler miniatures painted, and people seem to enjoy the live play, so we'll do a little live play.
Ours are normal sized, I think, aren't they?
These are considered large. So, what is a large creature?
That's a giant base. It's a
4 boxes.
Yeah, 4 boxes.
So the our miniatures are on a large base, and the miniature is about bigger than a Goliath and a little wider. So the troll size. They look like a troll. Yeah. Okay, let's do teleport and
and then now if it doesn't have any dimensional attunement points yet, it just has a 60-foot teleport every round.
Bonus action.
Right. So it's got 60-foot Misty Step every round.
Yeah.
Yes, at will, nice. And no
point cost, no anything, just every bonus action. Yeah, so you got a fighter beating on it? No, you don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your fighter has double moving every round just to try and get a touch of it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. If you would need multiple fighters to try to pin it, right?
Yep.
Or fighting in maybe an enclosed space. But if you're fighting this guy in the woods, forget about it. If you're in the woods,
this is like Marvel fighting Nightcrawler. You're just pink, he's over there. Boop, he's over there. Every round, just bamfing all over the battlefield.
All right, Dimensional Shamble is legendary actions, 1 use a round. You want to go over that, Professor?
Legendary actions once per round. Attack, make 2 additional dimensional claw attacks, which means he's got another chance to grapple somebody. Maybe he threw one up in the air and let him fall, and now he's just going to grab another. Shift, he uses Dimensional Step, which is his teleport with grappled people, so he can do that. Oh, sorry. He doesn't have to wait to his turn to do it. He can just do it as a legendary action.
Yeah.
And then after another player goes, right? And the player's turn?
Yes. And then Dimensional Shambler uses his teleport, so he can use his bonus action teleport twice per round if he uses his legendary action to do it also.
Wow.
Now, it's not all bad news, guys. It's not all bad news. We have in the Mythos new subclasses, right? They have new origin feats, which is basically a background for the Call of Cthulhu world saying, I fought, I lived, I hid from the terror, I pierced the illusion, I opened the gate, I survived to tell the tale. So these are all new background conditions, background stuff that you can add.
I happen to really like the one you're on right now, the Survive to Tell the Tale.
Yep. So I survived to tell a tale origin feat. You have encountered something dreadful, a horrible creature or bizarre ritual that sent you down the path to becoming an investigator of the strange. Your quick feet and instinct for survival carried you through the day and are your best asset. You gain the following benefits. The instinct to survive. When you take damage that reduces you to 0 hit points, you immediately regain hit points equal to your level. When you use this benefit, you cannot gain it again until a long rest. Okay, so Professor or DM Emerson, how would an origin feat, and an orc feat stack, or are they both considered origin feats?
We'd have it twice a day. If you're an orc with this, you could have it twice a day.
The orc would give you 1 hit point, and this would give you, a couple hit points. So
right, but not separate instances.
Yeah.
One time you come up with 1 hit point, one time you come up with your level 1 hit points.
Okay, I like that. Cool. Yeah, that makes your character feel heroic, makes your character feel tough.
These are can immediately. It's not a must, it's a can.
Superior speed, plus 10 to speed.
Great. That's awesome.
Can't complain with that one. And the next one is just icing on the cake.
Wiggle free. Oh, I think this is a must for DM Evanson's campaign. The wiggle free background origin feat.
It's banned.
You would have gained if you would have gained a grapple condition, roll a d20. A 10 or higher, you do not gain it. And that doesn't say like once per long rest.
Every time.
Yep.
Every time you're grapple.
What do you think of a wiggly monk?
I think all these creatures would have to be in play. I think in this
Go ahead, dude.
universe, it works very well because of how deadly everything is. So, like, I could see that really paying off. I could see this in a normal campaign being a little, with certain things being a little OP.
I would love to see this on a halfling because it
I
just
would love to
fits.
see that on Halfling as well.
The halfling, you grab him, he's just squirming, but he just squirms out like a greased pig.
Yeah, I know it could be great. I mean, it's just grappling. It's not that breaking, but
I love the part when you're saying on a halfling, where I can just imagine, like, you backhand the halfling, bap, like, knock, 35 points damage, knock him to 0. He's like, shake that one off, and he just stands up and, like,
the wall bounces, shakes his head. Okay, stands up. Awesome.
Shake that one off, little guy. Oh my god, that'd be hysterical. So they did give us a new bunch of subclasses. I will go over. I know, Professor, you have to leave it a little bit. I'll go over my subclass that I think is pretty cool, and then you pick yours. The Barbarian subclass, the Path of the Scorned. So Ulrig the Slayer says, "My magic, it's the magic of stabbing things in the face. Works well in my experience." So the Path of the Scorned is an anti-magic barbarian, an elite steel warrior that fights kind of against magic effects, especially trained bodyguards to protect the elite mages of arcane academies. They gain knowledge about the supernatural. So this is a guy that would be able to understand what the hunting horror is trying to do. Their study action, they can take a study action for arcana or religion, but they're using a survival. They're using the survival number to do the study action for arcana. So survival to look at the dimensional shambler and know what's going on, which should be higher, right? For a barbarian, the survival is going to be pretty high.
Yeah.
The spell hammer, you sheath your weapon in crackling energy that's baneful to creatures of other worlds. Once per turn, while your rage is activated, you can deal double your rage damage to a target with a strength-based attacks. If that creature has legendary actions, you can do triple damage as a bonus.
Oh my god.
So triple damage
is level. So I mean, at 5th level, you're talking about an extra 10 damage or an extra 15 damage instead of an extra 5.
Okay, I like it. The spell shield. You exert the void around you to consume spells. While your rage is activated, you radiate a spell-consuming aura for 30 feet. Your allies gain bonus to saving throw against spells equal to your rage damage bonus. So a little bit of a paladin aura, right?
That's better than a paladin aura. You get it at 3rd level. Paladin gets it at 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. So the spell shield, but the rage bonus at 3rd level is going to be a little bit lower.
Yeah. And well, I mean, it's only saving throws against spells. Paladins is all saving throws.
Yep.
Yeah.
But 30-foot aura, paladin is 10-foot.
Mm-hmm. And this is 30.
Yeah, and this is 30. And so, I mean, it's certainly on par with the paladin. I mean, the bulk of your savings throws are usually against spells, or the most important ones are usually against spells.
Yeah.
Level 6, Sunder the Weave. Barbarian with counterspell. You always have counterspell prepared. You can cast without a spell slot or components while your rage is active. That's your spellcasting ability. As part of a reaction to cast it, you can move up to your speed and make one attack against the target of the spell. And that's once per short or long rest. So one counterspell, a charge, and a swing.
Wow, that's really an anti-mage.
After the reaction, you can cast the spell, move up to your speed. Okay, yeah. So you're really Mage Slayer, and at this point, you better take the Mage Slayer feat.
Yeah,
just stack it all together.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't think about that. That's good. That's
absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Level 10. Level 10. The bolstering howl. When you or another creature, you can hear takes damage. You gain a reaction to grant resistance against the damage. In addition, the target gains resistance to the damage type at the end of the turn.
You got this.
Yep. So you get resistance. So
I like that.
Half damage, right? If you make the
like you're fighting in separate rooms or something, you can still help each other out.
Yeah, because it's on hearing, and that's kind of cool that they're starting to add some other stuff, which isn't
between that and the 30 foot buff. Yeah.
Okay, now I read this last night, and I love this. This is my favorite one. It is level 14. Dimensional duel. You always have banishment prepared. When you activate your rage as a bonus action while you're raging, you can cast banishment without a spell or component. So you have 1 free banishment. You maintain concentration while your rage is active. You can target up to 3 creatures in this way. In addition, so you banish up to 3, and then you pursue them into the banished realm. You create a demi-plane, which is an empty room, 30 feet by 200 feet. There must be enough room for all the creatures or fail. So if you're fighting bigger creatures, make room. But just say you're fighting 3 humanoids, you make a 30-foot room, you banish these 3 creatures, you follow them in. The room is filled with bright light, and you're in this room. So my little quote was, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. And then you just start swinging, and that's it. You're in a private little arena beating on these creatures. The barbarian disappears, the 3 bad guys disappear, and you're just in that room swinging and just laughing the whole time. I love it.
I like that you could do multiple, so you could technically overdo it and be like, well, maybe I took too many with me. And
Okay.
you're stuck in there with 3 people kicking your ass. I just wonder if you can you drop it
it is concentration.
Okay, so I guess if he's getting his ass kicked, he could drop it.
Yeah, because it's banishment.
Yeah.
So then everybody, if he drops it, he would pop out, but everybody pops back out to where they were.
Yeah.
Right, but now barbarians have Constitution saves, right? So they're proficient in con saves, aren't they?
Yep.
And he's got rage up, so he's taking half damage from most things. So if they're, if he takes a pile of cultists with him, he's going to make a lot of rolls, but he may be okay.
Yeah.
If he's fighting something big and it hits him once, chances are it's going to come down.
But even as a heroic action.
Oh, absolutely. The rest of the party's now only dealing with 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, or just or I'll take the big bad guy and you guys escape.
It's the old, it's okay. You just hold off the dragon for a few minutes. We got this.
Yeah. Or just run and I'll hold him for as long as I can and you fight another day. But it's pretty cool. It's a little
so that's the path this one. Professor, did you have one that you liked, you said?
I do. I really like the Paladin. Oath of the Guardian.
Oath of the Guardian. Let me see. Oh, hey, we got it right here. So we have a nice picture of the Guardian. So why don't you walk us through it? You read it. I read this
about this a little bit yesterday, just this background. So in Dungeons and Dragons, it seems like a barbarian who is meant to be an offensive character always ends up as the tank because of the damage resistance. And other fighters have a harder time tanking enemies. Now, in our campaign, our Dragonborn does a great job of it with his heavy armor and his heavy armor mastery, so he's got the damage reduction. But this one is specifically designed for it. So, Alarm, Shield of Faith at 3rd level, Lesser Restoration, Warding Bond, which is the splitting of damage.
Yeah.
At 5th level, Beacon of Hope, Protection of Energy at 9th level. Death Ward, Guardian of Faith at 13th. Greater Restoration, Raise Dead at 17th. Level 3, Defensive Intervention. When a creature you can see hits another creature within 30 feet, you can take a reaction, spend a Channel Divinity, teleport 30 feet to the space next to it, and take the attack.
Amazing.
Right? Beautiful ability, right? Your mage gets nailed in the back row. The creature teleported back there. Nope, you're there to protect them. Level 3, Marking Strike. Hit a creature with a weapon. You forgo the weapon mastery and mark the target. The marked creature has disadvantage on attack rolls on targets other than you and has half movement if it tries to move away from you. No, it's you and me, buddy, right here. You're not going anywhere.
That's huge.
Level 7, Guarding Presence. Bonus action. Choose a creature within 5 feet of yourself and a number of creatures up to your charisma modifier. Each of those creatures can use your AC instead of its own AC while it remains within 5 feet of you.
Wow.
Squishy mage, squishy rogue, heavily armored paladin.
Average armor class of a level 7 paladin at that point?
This
20, 22.
20, yeah.
Plate mail, shield, +1 on both, maybe.
Probably minimum 20.
Yeah.
And a second level 7 ability?
Second level 7 ability. Inspiring Defense. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you make an attack of opportunity.
I like that.
In addition, guarded creatures of your choice under your guarding presence can attack twice instead of once. So stacking with that first ability where they get your armor class, they also get to make 2 attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
So now stack it with Mage Slayer, where you're doing double the save on concentration checks or whatever it is, stuff like that. That's huge. You start whacking on a mage twice when he tries to move away from you with whatever he's concentrating on or something like that.
Yep.
Level 15, Ward of the Guardian. Whenever a creature marked by you that you can see reduces an ally to 0 hit points but doesn't kill them, you can take a reaction to have the ally drop to 1 hit point instead.
Okay.
And they get an immediate reaction to make a melee attack against the creature that just dropped them.
And also, that's a number equal to the charisma modifier. So, 3 to 5
level
times.
15, probably 5 times a day.
Probably 5 times a day. And now there's a level 20 Guardian Angel ability. And I'm trying to think. I feel like I've been looking at a lot of subclasses, and not every subclass has a level 20 ability. A lot have level 17. Yeah. So, most people might do 17 in one and do a level 3 in another class. So this ability, and we haven't played really to level 20. This ability is a reason to take the Paladin single class level 20. So why don't you do that, Professor?
So as a bonus action, you become a living bastion of defense, granting the benefits below for 1 minute. You can use this feat. Once you use this feature, you can't use it until you finish a long rest or by spending a level 5 spell. Your guardian presence becomes a 100-foot emanation. So your level 20 paladin is protecting a village.
And
all the villagers now have 23, 24 armor classes.
Amazing.
Yeah. A walking bastion.
Yeah. On each of your turns, if you have no use of channel divinity, you get one.
Endless divinity. Endless divinity. I love it.
And supreme punishment. You can use your Ward of the Guardian without taking a reaction once per round. When you do so, you can't use it again until the start of your next turn. So that was the one where you make somebody stand up instead of going to 0. So every round, somebody who gets dropped to 0, you stand them up.
I love your little villages example where the village is fighting some superpower artists, and he just walking around protecting people. As people drop, he just lays a hand, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm alive, keep fighting. And then that guy will get up and basically take an attack too. Yep. That villager or that person's getting up and just swinging. So a good reason to go to level 20.
Now, is that the AC thing? Is that an effect that he has to activate? I forget, or is that just a status effect?
That was level 7 Guardian Presence as a bonus action to turn it on.
Okay. How long does it last? It just turns on, right?
Guardian Presence
1 minute.
1 minute.
All right. Never mind. I was gonna say it'd be funny. It's just like everyone has AC 20 forever in my village.
Even while I'm sleeping, you said,
exactly.
Sleeping, right? Like,
just
feeling very armored today.
A bunch of cocky
the whole village doesn't work because it's still only your charisma modifier and creatures, but now they can spread out.
That's better.
So I think it'd be cooler for it to be just like everyone within 100 feet for you're level 20.
Yeah.
At that point,
you're dealing with some major shit anyway.
No. Pretty cool. I just thought it was a great subclass. I thought it really made a very different paladin.
Feels very powerful.
Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah.
So the last quick thing we'll go over for 2 minutes is passions. At the start of play, you get a passion of your choice. These are things that motivate your character and for more role playing. A passion pushes you to do things rather than forcing you into action. It urges you to act. Certain triggers. When you invoke a passion, you get +5 to a D20 roll directly related to that passion. You can also embrace your passion, maybe get some temporary hit points. You can resist your passion, which means you'll lose your heroic inspiration. So they're really trying to help you role play your characters in this world. Some passions like being haunted, being curious, a seeker of forbidden truths. So that might be one Bertrand the Wizard has. He's trying to seek these forbidden spells that to try to help his family, an arcane hunger, wealth at any cost, survivor's guilt. So they kind of list all these arcane passions, and then they give you dreadful insights. Dreadful insights is a passion gained based on the experience in the Cthulhu mythos. Creatures in the mythos are very uncaring, it's very vast, and some sometimes you're at risk of getting a dreadful insight. So this is kind of the sanity feature that Call of Cthulhu had. So the dreadful insight tends to pull you along a self-destructive path. You become fascinated with the mythos. You're compelled to encounter it. You might be obsessed with trying to obtain a tome of ancient knowledge and find these secrets. So these are more role-playing aspects. They really don't give you like a sanity system in here, although I'll have to read a little further into the book. There are some penalties. You might have the frightened condition and some other negative conditions when you're affected by a mythos creature. And the Dungeon Master's Guide actually has some rules for supernatural horror, sanity, and trying to bring that element of horror in. But I think it's harder in Dungeons & Dragons than in the actual role-playing game, the Chaosium Call of Cthulhu, because in Cthulhu I have 12 hit points, and this one I have 100 hit points with an armor class of 23 and healing spells. Yep. We don't have that. So this is the Dungeon Dragon is supposed to be kind of heroic, and you're supposed to feel like you're fighting. But I love this Cthulhu book. We're delving more into it. This is just the initial kind of introduction to it. Maybe we'll talk more about it again. Any final thoughts, DM Evanson, on this?
I haven't really gotten to look at it as much as you guys have, but I really like what I've seen so far. I like new abilities for creatures and monsters, more terrible things to throw at my players, so that's always good. And it's cool to see the new feats or subclasses too. So cool. Those look a lot of fun.
Professor?
Really like the book. I like the fact that the subclasses are mostly not specifically Cthulhu oriented. You can use them in any game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Most of the feats the same. I'm really happy with it. I bought it really on a whim because we are a big Cthulhu fan separately from D&D, but I really think you could roll a lot of this into any D&D game.
Yeah.
With very little effort.
Yeah, just throw a rat thing at somebody, or the Great Cthulhu could be a good end game boss. At 779 hit points.
Cults. So there can be a cult in every game.
Yeah.
You don't have to see Nyarlathotep. It's a cult to him.
Yeah. I think cults are great, great bad guys, because they're humanoid. You're fighting, humanoid type of creatures with abilities, equal or just above your level. We just had a cult adventure where the cultists were fighting on the river, and they're not super high level. They got a few hit points, but the cultists cast sleep, first level spell, and a couple of players fell asleep, and it was a problem. Cultists cast magic missile, and at that level, you take a couple darts and you start to get worn down. You're like, wow, it's kind of scary. And then the cults might summon one monster, which is a little bit bigger. And that's kind of scary at their level. It doesn't have to be world ending. It just has to be the cults are up to something. I think they make good bad guys from levels 3 to 6.
Yeah.
So I would definitely add, and then and then the cult could send hunting horror when they're like level 8, and then it's like, oh wow, that's pretty scary. We better stop this cult. They're sending a hunting horror after us with 184 hit points. It's starting to beat us up a little bit. So So we'll delve more into the Cthulhu mythos at some point. This coming week, we are going to Gen Con Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
A long ride across the land on our land ship. And we're going to get there Wednesday. And we'll do a lot of D&D content and filming and just enjoying ourselves. Excited, DM Evanson?
I am looking forward to getting away.
Yeah.
Getting away.
Yeah. So we'll put up all our D&D content. We'll do some pre-recorded stuff, and we'll do some live D&D content while we're there and put that all together.
Yeah, I'll be posting a lot of content from there.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. So next Sunday, we probably will not be live in the morning because we'll still be there.
You're gonna do a live from the car. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, come on.
Sunday. Oh no, yeah, we can do a live on the drive home. I guess that we're driving.
Recap.
There you go.
Recap as long as we have a good connection. So, all right, adventurers. Pick up the Call of Cthulhu book. It is called. I keep Cthulhu by Torchlight. You gotta remember that. Let's see if we can find the main cover here. Can we find the main cover? Sources. We just click on that. This is all the stuff on. Let's see here. No, actually, I can't see the cover. on the thing. Last question, Professor. Do you know if this is a hardcover book?
I have not heard. Don't
I
know.
would love to buy this. I would own this hardcover. I'd buy that in a second. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, that's cool. I think the cover's awesome. I love it. They got a Star Spawn, or maybe the Cthulhu himself fighting a bunch of adventurers. $29.99 on D&D Beyond, and I love the artwork. And has a nice cultist. Perfect example of it. Yeah, I would pick this up as a hardcover, but I'm happy just to have it as online as a PDF too, to be able to.
Got a pretty nice beard.
We'll be at both Chaosium and Wizards booth, so we'll know.
Oh yeah, perfect. Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll have that answer for you. So, all right, adventurers. Until next time.
Thanks, everybody.